It's so easy to grab your phone when you wake up, isn't it? The mindless scrolling, the checking of notifications. But what's happening behind that? In that moment, you're not just mindlessly passing time. What you're doing is trying to push away a deeper discomfort, a residue of yesterday's emotions. You're seeking something to numb the anxiety, the stress, or the sadness that's been left unresolved. And you do it again and again, each day, hoping for something to change. But here's what you might not realize: you're trying to escape the emotional residue of your past. Yesterday's worries, yesterday's failures, yesterday's pain, still haunting your mind and body. What if I told you that this daily pattern isn't just a habit? It's a cycle that's been ingrained in your body. Every emotion you've ever felt, whether it was anger, sadness, or fear, is literally a chemical signature your body has learned to memorize. And when you feel anxious or stressed, your body is sending out a cascade of chemicals, cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine, into your bloodstream, preparing you for fight or flight. It's not just a feeling, it's a chemical reaction that your body craves. Now, imagine that every time you feel this way, your body becomes conditioned to this state. It adapts to the chaos. Even when there's nothing in your outer world to be anxious about, your inner world is still running at full speed. It's as if your body is in constant overdrive, even though the mind isn't consciously aware of it anymore. It's like a program running in the background that you can't shut off, even when you don't need it anymore. This is the trap. The cycle becomes so familiar that you don't even question it. Over time, your body becomes better at being anxious than your mind is at thinking about it. It's not that you're consciously choosing to stress. It's that your body has learned to react to the world in this way. Anxiety becomes automatic. It's not a conscious thought anymore. It's an unconscious, emotional pattern that gets triggered without you realizing it. And that's the problem: you're not thinking yourself into anxiety. Your body is triggering the anxiety based on learned patterns. That's why people who suffer from chronic anxiety often say, "I don't know why I feel this way." The initial thought, the trigger, may be long gone, but the body hasn't released it. The body remembers what the mind forgets. This is why you feel like you can't shake it off. You don't have to think to be anxious. It just happens. Your body gets better at it, stronger, more automatic, until you feel like you can't control it. The anxiety feels like it's your reality, even though you don't want it. You're not your anxiety. You've just been conditioned to live with it. But here's the most powerful truth: none of this is permanent. You were not born into anxiety, stress, and fear. These emotional patterns were learned. They were absorbed from experiences, from the environment around you, and from survival mechanisms that your body adapted to. And the good news? If it was learned, it can be unlearned. The first step is to become aware. You need to catch yourself in the act. When your body is getting triggered by old emotions, you must recognize it. And this isn't about self-blame or guilt. It's about awareness. It's about waking up from the dream you've been living in. Take a moment, right now. Are you aware of your emotional state? When anxiety starts to rise in your chest, do you react immediately, or do you pause and observe it? In that moment of observation, you create space. You stop the cycle, and in that space, a new possibility opens up. The next time you feel the familiar anxiety rising, simply notice it. Don't judge it. Don't resist it. Just notice it. And in that space, you are no longer the anxiety. You are the observer. This is where the change begins. Let me explain this further. Your brain and body are in constant communication. The brain sends signals, and the body responds with emotions. These emotions then inform your thoughts, creating a feedback loop. If the brain thinks fearful thoughts, the body reacts with anxiety. The body's anxiety triggers more fearful thoughts in the mind. Over time, this loop becomes automatic. But here's the key: you can interrupt this cycle. You have the power to step out of this loop. When you pause and observe the feeling of anxiety, you are interrupting the emotional feedback loop. You no longer need to react immediately. You can breathe. You can stay still. And in that moment, you begin to take control of your emotional state. By becoming the observer, you stop reinforcing the same emotional patterns. The more you practice this, the less the anxiety will control you. It's not about eliminating the anxiety altogether. It's about not letting it define you. You can choose to stay calm, even when your body wants to react. And when you do, you begin to break free. Now, here's the thing about the brain: it doesn't care whether a thought is real or imagined. When you think about something fearful, your body reacts as though it's happening in real time. This is why anxiety feels so real, because the body is reacting as though it's actually happening. The good news is, the inverse is true too. When you stay calm, when you don't react to fearful thoughts, your body begins to believe that it's safe. This is how you start to reprogram your subconscious. It's not about fighting the thought or suppressing it. It's about staying calm even with the thought present. In neuroscience, this is called metacognition, the ability to think about your thinking. And this is one of the most powerful tools you have. The goal is not to eliminate the negative thoughts but to stop identifying with them. When you stop attaching to the anxiety and instead observe it, you start to weaken its grip on your mind and body. The more you practice this, the more your brain rewires itself. You're literally creating new neural pathways, pathways that no longer lead to anxiety but to peace. Consistency is the key. You can't change your emotional and mental state with one single practice. It takes time. The more you practice observing your thoughts without reacting to them, the easier it becomes. And soon, you won't even need to think about it. It will become a natural part of who you are. Each time you pause and breathe, each time you observe your thoughts without reacting, you're rewiring your brain. You're creating a new neural pathway, a pathway that leads to calm, to peace, to possibility. This new version of you doesn't just appear one day. You build it, one moment at a time. So, how do you start living the change? It's not about forcing yourself into a new identity. It's about consistently aligning with the future version of yourself. That person who is calm, confident, peaceful, and empowered. It's about setting intentions each day. Waking up and deciding, today, I will observe my thoughts without reacting. I will choose calm, peace, and clarity. I will not let my past define my future. When you do this consistently, you will see the change, not just in your thoughts, but in your life. Today marks a new beginning for you. You are no longer bound by the emotional patterns of your past. You have the power to create a new reality, one where you are not controlled by fear, anxiety, or negative thoughts. Today, you are reclaiming your power. This is the beginning of a new chapter. One where you choose who you want to be, not based on your past, but on the vision of your future. And that future? It's waiting for you to step into it, right now.